So hi everyone, good morning. How are you all doing? Hope you all are well. Good, it feels great to see you all again. How's your week going? It's been quite a hectic week and your first week of classes this year with us. So have you found it so far? All going well? Good, good to see the replies as well on the chat. Great, so I've been looking forward to this class. So far we've just had a bit of fun and it will continue today as well. Don't worry, today's is also a mentally relaxing and enjoyable class. We'll be learning a few new words like we started in our first class, remember? We did a few photo exercises, we learned between two confusing words. We'll be doing something similar but not the same exercises. We'll be getting into a particular type of a vocab question called analogies. So far we've covered just a warm-up in vocab, try to think about different new words. In the last class I covered parajumbles, which was also interesting, trying to rearrange the sentences into a logical order. And I think Praddy has started grammar with you. So he would have covered parts of speech and prepositions and conjunctions. And tenses, I don't know if he's done yet, or it may happen sometime next week. And he will also be getting into reading comprehension. And that's tomorrow for him. Okay. Today I'm going to cover an interesting topic called analogies. So let's have a look at what analogies is. Let me just fetch my slides. Slides visible, I hope. Just let me know in the chat. Great, thanks. Okay, so one question of vocab is where you have to write either synonyms or antonyms, or you have to choose between 2 or 3 or 4 confusing words, right? It's fill in the blanks. Today we are going to study simpler words, words which we all know. But in analogies, what is important is we also have to understand the relationship between the words. So we'll be given a set of 2 words. We have to find the relationship between those 2 words, and we have to try to replicate the same relationship among one of the options. So let's just go directly into an example. We can try to solve it and then we'll solve it together. Okay, and you'll get a look at what analogies is. What do you think the answer can be in this question? So an important clue here, and something that we have to notice quite quickly, is that all of the words in the second option are nouns. Okay. So for those who are seeing this kind of a question for the first time, the way to say this kind of question is, how do you say this? First colon, artist is to painting. The same way, driver is to car, or composer is to symphony, or surgeon is to operation, or novel is to author. Okay, so this colon can be expanded as is to, and this colon, double colon, can be expanded as same. So this relationship which we are trying to judge between these two words, we have to replace is to with this relationship. Okay. So some of you immediately after seeing the question put C, because I think the relationship that you judged was artist does painting. Okay, and maybe that is the relationship that you said would be used for surgeon does operation. But something that you realize in this question is that all of these second words are nouns. Car is a noun, symphony is a noun, operation is a noun, and author is a noun. This word is also a noun. It is not an action that the artist is doing. It is a noun, it is a thing that the artist is creating. So the answer here is that artist creates a painting. The same way, composer creates a symphony. Surgeon doesn't create an operation. Surgeon executes the operation. He actually does the operation. Okay. So the keywords to spot what type of an option was the second word and reflect that same option from your question. Okay, composer creates a symphony. Some of you all might be wondering, what is a symphony? A symphony is a creation of music. It's a composition. It is played by many musicians all sitting together. That is called an orchestra. Right? So when you have one person on violin, one person on guitar, one person on piano, one person on flute, or many. So it's a group of musicians all creating very nice sounding music together. That is called a symphony. So a composer creates a symphony. The composer is the writer of the song, which the musicians are going to play. Okay. So the key here was A, to spot this relationship and to choose the relationship between any of the other options. Okay, let's do another one quickly. Now in all my slides today, I want you all to tell me first if any word is not understood. If any of you all find a word difficult, you don't know what it means, then let's try and learn a few new words. And along with that, we can figure out the answer to your question. Okay. Secondly, along with the option that you're telling, you can also start writing down why you have reached that option. So you can tell me what relationship you have thought about between these two words. Now, if you thought about the relationship as uses, carpenter uses hammer, painter uses paint, it works over here. Pilot uses airplane, maybe it could work. Philosophers use books, can work, and plumber uses wrench. This also works. Which means that we need to define this relationship a little bit better. Okay, we can extend this sentence into a longer sentence and define it a bit better, which will help us eliminate some of the other examples. So some of you all correctly have put in the chat that it can be a tool. Yes. So is painter using paint as a tool? No. Painter's tool is paintbrush. So this one gets eliminated. Is pilot using airplane as a tool? No. Pilot is actually flying the airplane. So it's not a tool. And philosophers don't use books as a tool. Philosophers either read books or they can write books. So the only one left is plumber and wrench. Plumber uses wrench as a tool. For those who don't know what a wrench is, it is used to tighten your pipes and taps. Yeah, it looks something like this. This is a wrench. And it may have a similar thing on the other side also. This is used to tighten the nut. And then this comes in different sizes. Size 1, 3, 5, 7. So it goes from small to big. So this is a range. Okay. So for those who don't understand what the word is, first let me know the word in the chat. Okay, I'll explain what it means and then we can get into the answer. So today will be a combination of some easier questions where we know all the words and we just have to understand what this relationship is. Okay. And in some questions, there may be some new words which we come across. Let's have a look at them as well. So, an easy one on the right hand side. Okay, so many of you all have chosen between C and between D, and I have a few answers for A and D as well. Okay, so the relationship here is that spider creates a web, or he spins a web, or he makes a web. So any of this can be your relation. Creates, spins, makes, all of this work. Okay, now if you noticed, spider creates a web. We are going this way. Okay, if you read A and thought this was the answer, the relationship is correct. Bird builds a nest, but the order is wrong. Okay, what you have to pick is the option in the same order. So this is incorrect. Relationship is okay, order is incorrect. Reverse order is not allowed. Okay. So does the wall create a house? No, this is unrelated. Musician can create a song? Yes, this can be. And grasshopper is a type of insect. It doesn't create an insect. So D is eliminated. So this leaves C as the answer. So be careful about the order of the words in which way you are proceeding to make your sentence and substitute the option in the same order. Okay. So it's fun, interesting topic. This is one type of question which appears in your exams. It doesn't appear in Infosys. I haven't seen it so far, but it comes in some of the other exams. Okay. What about this? Okay. Start putting the relationship also along with your answer. I want to know how you have reached the answer. So, in short, if you can just type it out to me, it will be helpful. And you will also get a better judgment whether you are doing it right or not. So, Varun has an interesting one. Varun says, racket is used to play tennis. But Varun, this doesn't work, because ball is used to play football, board is used to play chess, and bat is used to play cricket. So, this is not a perfect relationship. Okay, can we define it better? Racket is used to play tennis, or racket is used to hit the ball in tennis. Yeah, this is much better, no? Because ball is used to hit the ball. No, in football we use the leg to hit the ball. So this is incorrect. Glove was anyway unrelated. Board cannot be used to hit the ball. There is no ball in chess. But can bat be used in cricket to hit the ball? Yes. So that leaves D as your answer. Okay. So this relationship, try to get as perfectly as possible. What is the exact relationship? Try to define it and then replicate it in the others. So those who are getting it right, you are on the right path. I'm just trying to quote you on the approach. Okay. Next one. So whoever has not understood meanings of words, please tell her. I see someone are confused in slender, some are not happy with ecstatic, and elusive also I think some have put. We don't know what this is. I'll explain, no problem. So in some of the questions like you see in this one, all the words may not be known to us. We need to learn some new words. But otherwise, there are easy questions also, which appears in the paper. Okay, so all of them won't be this difficult where you don't know the word. Some of them you will know all the words which are present. Okay. So in this case, slender means thin. These words are synonyms. Okay, so can we try to spot some with the same meaning? Is poor wealthy? No, these are opposites. So we eliminate. Obese is fat? Yes, this can be an option. Depressed is sad. And ecstatic is extremely happy. So these become opposites. So this is not your answer. And respectable is to have respect, is to have honor, dignity in the society. And elusive is to not be caught. So if a thief stole something and he ran away, the thief was elusive. The police could not catch him. So these are unrelated to each other. So your option is B, obese and fat. And what was the relationship that you had? Words that had the same or similar meaning. Okay, so another example is polite and courteous. Same meaning. So your relationship was synonym. So as we go through the questions today, as we proceed through slides, I'm going to start listing out relationships over here. Okay, and we'll try and study new and new relationships that we come across and how to spot them. So first of all, any words that are not understood, please put in the chat. If anyone feels that I'm moving too fast, or if something is you want me to explain again, you can ask, no problem. Okay, so diligent is a word which some have put. Okay, anything else which is not understood? So young and old, what does this suggest? Opposites, right? Now diligent means hardworking, right? If you are hardworking, you are diligent. So these are synonyms. It's the same thing. So this cannot be your option. Give and receive, opposites, this can be. Immediate and instantaneous both mean the same thing. These are synonyms. So this is ruled out. And mysterious and unknown both are synonyms. They mean the same. So this is also ruled out. The relationship here was words that have an opposite meaning, or you can also call them antonyms. Okay, young, old, give, receive. So now are we getting it? What are analogies? Spot the relationship, understand the two words, try to select option. Is this a fun way again to learn new words? So we not only answer some exam questions, we are also on the way picking up some new vocabulary for those who don't. There will be a few questions where some words might be. Oh, I've given you the answer by mistake. So in the order of slides, by mistake, I revealed the answer. So here the relationship is jogging is to run slowly, right? When you start your warm up, when you just start running, you start jogging. That is to run slowly. So this is slow. And sprinting is to run fast. Okay. So the activity is the same. The activity is running. But one is slow, one is fast. So you have relationship in degree of intensity. One is slower and one is much faster. So the same way you can say the activity is to drink. It could be to drink water or to drink Coke or anything. Yeah, drink water. When you're sipping it, you're drinking slowly, like you sip coffee, you sip tea because it's hot. And when you're gulping it, you're suddenly having the whole thing. You're drinking from a bottle. So sip is to drink slowly and gulp is to drink fast. So this is your answer. Activity is same, but one is slow, one is fast. So synonyms, but varying in degree of intensity. Faithful means loyal, to not let someone down, and kind is to be generous, to do some good deeds for someone, to help out someone. Okay. Anyone had a problem with what is admonished? Warn is to prevent something from happening. So don't run too fast, you may fall. This is warning. What is admonish? Admonish is to scold. It doesn't mean warn, it means to scold. So suppose you make a mistake or you do something wrong, admonish is to scold. It is after the event has happened. Okay. So your teacher will admonish you for talking in class, or your principal will admonish you for low attendance. Okay, you can say it is a form of punishment, but maybe not punishment exactly. It's just a verbal scolding. There is no other punishment in admonition. Okay. So similarly, please ask her if there are new words which you don't know. Put it in the chat. Let's explain it. Acha, there was another option also here. Clever and ingenious, which both of them are synonyms. So this is of course not your answer. A was your answer. Okay. So some have an issue with what is oppressed. Any other words which you have not understood? Okay. So dictator is a ruler, right? He is ruling over some area of land or geography or a group of people. So dictator is the ruler. And oppressed are the people whom the dictator is ruling over. Okay? Oppressed are the people who are not free. So why did Indians fight for independence from British? Because we were oppressed. We were ill-treated. We were not given the same citizenship rights as other people. Yeah? So these are the oppressed. Those whose rights are not allowed. Okay, so dictator is ruler and oppressed are the people. Now, can we say many paragraphs make up an essay? Right? Paragraphs form an essay. So what can be one is a part of the other? Is this relationship actor is a part of cast, but the order is interchanged. So this is wrong. Relationship is correct, but order is wrong. So we can't select it. And symphony is a part of orchestra? No. Orchestra are a group of musicians. One plays one instrument, other plays some other instrument. They create a symphony. So orchestra are the musician who plays and they create a symphony. So symphony cannot be part of orchestra. No. So this is not right. Shravya cast is a group of actors in either a play or a movie. So any movie or play has a cast, a group of characters. That's the list of actors. Okay. And can we say scene is a part of the play? So those who got it right, perfect. Right? So what all is a play made up of? One play is made up of several acts. Anyone here from maybe ICSE? Those who've had Shakespeare in 10th or 12th, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, right? So a play has several acts. This can go up to Act 5 as well. Okay? And act is where the background changes. So in a play, in a theater, in between acts, you close the curtain and the characters change and the background also changes. So you can move from outdoors, which is like the grounds of a castle. You can move to indoors, living room, bedroom. So all the furniture and all that is changed in between two acts. Sometimes even the audience is allowed to move and go and have some food or some drinks, and then they come back and sit for the next act. Okay, so that's several acts make up a play, and each act is made up of several scenes. So Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 3. So each act can be made up of one or more scenes. Okay, and in between scenes, there is no change of background. The curtain doesn't close. All that happens is the characters either exit or enter. Okay, so in one play, there are several acts, and in one act, there are several scenes. Change of characters and change of background. Yes, Pavan, you can say between acts you is like an interval in a movie. So people are free to get up, move out, talk to each other, discuss what is happening. Some of the plays are suspense, so you might be scared about what might happen now. All of that. So this is a play in the theater. Really interesting. I hope all of us get some opportunity to go and watch a play in a theater because the performance is live. The characters have to bring out the acting live every day, day after day. Right? It's not recorded. It's not like a movie where the director says cut and then you can re-record again if in case it's not good. So play is live. There are no retakes. So that's what makes it more interesting and tougher for the actors. So a lot of actors graduate from the theater into movies. They come that way because theater is a tougher test. Good. So the answer here is A. We're not only learning analogies, we're learning some new words and we are getting some general knowledge also on what is a play and what is that. Okay. So your first test. Let me know three answers. If you feel all of them are A, you can write A, comma, A, comma, A, or whichever you are unsure about, you can leave it blank, or any of the options which you feel is right. Good. So 4 and 8, you have it right. Very nice. Nalini also, you're progressing on the right path. But all three answers together would be good. Monica, 2 out of 3. And 503 as well. 2 out of 3. Just need to rethink. Arun, you are okay. All good. Vasant and Manika, again 2 out of 3. Good. Some of you all are putting the relationships also, which is nice. I get to judge how you have reached the answer, which is good. Yeah. Shall we solve? Anyone else who's still solving, you can put, no problem. Take a guess if you are unsure. So here, lorry and truck mean the same thing. The relationship here is synonyms, right? So what else can mean the same thing? Torch and light? No. Torch is used to generate light. Motor and car are two different things. The motor drives the car. So they are also not right. I think many of you all have chosen coal and coke. But these are two different things. I don't know if some of you all got confused between coking coal, which is a type of coal, and sometimes you shorten it to coke. But here it was meant as coal and coke, and petrol and gasoline. This is much better because we call petrol in India. The same thing is called gasoline in some other countries, but it is actually the same thing, synonym. So the answer here was petrol and gasoline. And C was incorrect because coking coal is a type of coal. So they are not synonyms. Okay. And if you took coke as the drink, then obviously they are not the same. So C is not the answer anyway. Now let's come to waiter and tip. This is interesting. So those who judged waiter can be given a tip. Can you give professor a tenure? Yes, you can. You give pharmacist a prescription, you give the teller your interest, and you give salesperson commission. So just giving is not the right relationship. Can someone help me out? Someone wants to maybe explain what they used as their relationship. Right? I hope all words are understood in this. Yeah. So waiter is given a tip as something extra for the effort that he takes. Okay, it is for their service. Right? So do you give prescription to a pharmacist for his service? No, you give prescription because you need medicine from him. Pharmacist is a chemist. So this is incorrect. Do you give bank teller interest because, for his service as a tip? No. Interest is compulsory. You've taken a loan, you have to repay it. So this is also not okay. And professor and tenure is not okay because this is not related to money. It can be given for his efforts, but you're giving him tenure for life. Tenure is when a professor gets a seat in a college, permanent employment, until he dies, or he retires. So he can't be fired otherwise. So this is also incorrect. A salesperson is given a commission for his service. This is additional money which you give because you were impressed by his service. So we have D, D for the first two. Okay. Coming to the third one, I holds the socket. The socket holds the eye in place. Okay. So I think 548 has a doubt. 548 tenure is when you give professor the right to teach one subject in college forever until he dies or he retires. So he can't be fired basically. That is giving tenure. Okay. Then socket holds eye in place. So the relationship is this way. Does aorta hold the eye in place? No. Aorta is a type of artery. It's the major artery. In fact, one aorta, I think, goes from heart to brain, which is one major artery. And another might be going downwards from the heart to our feet, to the thighs and all. So that's another major artery. So aorta does not hold the heart in place. No. Ribs do not hold the chest in place. The ribs hold some other things in place, might be lungs. But the chest is made up of ribs, lungs, heart, and a lot of other things. So ribs don't hold the chest in place. Ribs are a part of the chest. I'm going in this direction because our question was in this direction. Socket holds the eye in place. Does joint hold the bone in place? No. A joint connects two bones. The joint is the line between two bones. If one bone ends like this, another bone is here, then this is your joint. It does not hold it in place, it connects two bones. This is incorrect. The gum, in fact, holds the tooth in place. So this is right. We have D, comma, D, comma, D. Any doubts here? Anyone who's not understood any word or relationship, please let me know. If it was too fast or too slow, I can go faster. Yeah. So let's look at another one then. Okay. Ansa, we'll go back to your doubt after this one. No problem. Okay. So here also, I kind of revealed the answer beforehand. A person with the action that they perform. So a teacher's job is to educate. The same way a mechanic's job is to repair. Okay. Now another option here also works. A direction's job is also to orient. But in this case, since the teacher is a person and the mechanic is a person, we choose A rather than B because direction becomes a thing. So wherever possible, choose the closer answer to what is given in your question. Okay, wherever possible. If this option was not given, then direction can be doing a job of orient. So B would have also been okay, right? Some have chosen C. Does a lawyer legislate? Okay, who can tell me who legislates? And what does a lawyer do? It's a bit confusing, you might think. Yes, 213 you have. Okay, so a lawyer argues the case for a person. Okay, so a lawyer is either for or against. One person will argue for someone, one person will argue against. Okay. Some have replied judge legislates. But no, judge does not legislate. Judge only takes the decision between what two lawyers are arguing. So judge can decide between the person is right, one person is right, or another person is right. Or if someone has committed a crime or not committed a crime and send him to jail. Okay. But legislation is done by elected officials. Here we call them politicians. So politicians who are elected and become members of parliament, or they become members of legislative assembly. This is at the central level. This is at the state level. And the name is there in the function as well. Member of legislative assembly. So what do these guys do? They create or they enact laws. They make new laws. And that is called legislate. So politicians or elected members or members of parliament, they legislate, not lawyers. So C is incorrect. And musician does not do the job of an orchestra. Musician is part of an orchestra. And what they actually do is they play music or they create music. So D is also incorrect. Right? You have A as the answer. Okay. So we are midway through the class. So I thought let's take a small break and let's have a discussion on something unrelated to analogies. In my last class, some of you all had put in the chat, lecture how to improve my vocabulary. In fact, it was in the first class, not in paragraph. Can you suggest some daily exercise which we can do so that we'll start picking up some new words over the next 6 months, which will be useful for your exams, It will be useful for the rest of your lives also. For placement, of course, you'll get to talk also better in your interview. So is anyone facing these kind of problems? I thought I had read a few chats in the chat box in my first vocab class. So there are a few. Okay. So let me suggest one exercise which we were taught when we were in school. So this exercise we used to do when we were in our 9th and 10th standard. We had this teacher called Mrs. Bose, very good in English. She taught us English grammar and she taught us Julius Caesar. So when I was in school, we had Shakespeare in 9th and 10th. I'm from an ICSE background. So we had a play called Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. So she taught us in a very interesting way. But one trick that she told to improve vocabulary, and we used to do this on a weekly basis. So it's your option. You guys want to do on a weekly basis, you want to do on a daily basis, or every alternate day, up to you. No compulsion, purely voluntary. So we used to open the newspaper, any newspaper, and we used to read one article in the newspaper every week. So at that time, of course, we did not have Google. So when we used to find any new words, we actually had to sit with the dictionary. We had the Oxford Dictionary at that time. So what we were told to do is, whichever article we read in the newspaper, we had to cut it out. So we had to cut it out, that article, stick it in a book, a notebook. And on the opposite page, we had to write the words and the meanings, all the words which we did not know, which were new to us. So all of us sat with a highlighter. We used to do this on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. Take the Times of India or any English newspaper which comes to your house. In this case, you can do it on the app also. Nowadays, all newspapers are online. Yeah. Whichever word you don't understand, first highlight them if you're sitting with a newspaper. If you're online, you can just Google them immediately. So just, I think if you do long press on a particular word, it will just Google it automatically on some cell phone. Now it's easy, na? You don't need to work with dictionary like we did. So this is back in, for me, 10th standard was 2003. So that time there was no Google and there were no cell phones also. We had to sit with the newspaper. So what we did on a weekly basis is, all of us used to identify 4 or 5 new words and we used to write the meanings in the book. Okay, so the book got filled. So you can also do this along with the book or you can maintain in an Excel sheet since it's online. Read one article either on a weekly basis or daily or alternative. Whichever words you don't understand, immediately Google. Okay, immediately. And write it down somewhere. This is a new word that I've learned and this is the meaning. So this is a new word that I've learned. Now, many of you all may also have a problem that I learn new word today, tomorrow I will not understand or I will not remember. Sorry. So if I come across the same word, maybe after a few days, I still don't know it. So now let's try to solve that problem. And that is why I'm suggesting you sit with a book or with an Excel sheet. So when you write it down, first thing is you are reinforcing your memorization part of it. Okay. Next day, when you do this exercise, or after 2 days, or after a week, if you're doing it on a weekly basis, just go through the list of words that you learned in the first exercise. Read them. There will be some words that you remember. They were new to you on the first day. On the next day, you will remember, I studied these yesterday. So you can strike them off as, okay, I've got these words. They have become part of my memory. Okay. There will be some words that you've forgotten. Those are the tougher words. Circle them. Or if you are sitting in Excel, then highlight them in a new color. Use some new color, orange, green, whichever you want. Okay. These are the words which you need to keep alive. And those which you've picked off, which you remember, you can forget about them. Okay. Now, at the end of the week, on a Sunday, maybe on a holiday, don't read any new article. Only go through the past week of new words and only read the highlighted words, the circled words, those which were tough. Okay. So while writing them down, you are memorizing them first time. The next day, you are memorizing them second time and you're trying to spot the highlighted words or the difficult words. And on the weekend, you are going through it again. So this is your third revision. Okay. By this time, even the tough words will get into your mind. Trust me, this is a very good exercise for improving your vocabulary. It is a tried and tested method. Okay, so let me know how it goes. For those who are going to implement, you can send me your list of words. You can send me photographs of which article you read, not a problem. Okay, so whatever you want to do, the method that you want to follow, how frequently you want to do it is your option, up to you. And you can let me know how it was. Was it useful? Was it not useful? Whichever one you feel. Okay. In case you are looking for any book to learn new words for vocabulary, then you can try Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. This is a nice book for vocabulary. It has some easy words, it has moderate words, and it has difficult words. Okay, so this is a book which generally people use for preparation for GRE and for GMAT. People use it to improve their English and their vocabulary. The book's name is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. Word Power Made Easy. Okay, some of us have it already. Good. It's a nice book. Some are asking which is the best app to use to come across news articles. So try to pick up the app of any of the top English newspapers. So you have app for Times of India, Hindustan Times, The Hindu. You can also try the business newspapers. So Economic Times, Mint, Hindu Business Line, Indian Express, Deccan Chronicle, any of the English newspapers you can go to for news. 438 has put In Shorts. In Shorts is also a good app for news. But I think the articles in Shorts are a bit short. So for longer articles, for better words, for more vocabulary, try to get into newspapers rather than In Shorts. In Shorts is good for keeping up with the news. So you will come to know what the news is. But little bit of analysis of the news, little bit of in-depth reporting. This is what the newspapers will do. In Shorts will not. Any other doubts? That anyone else has anything that you want to discuss? Yes, anything else that you would like to talk about? Okay, so this is interesting. What is my favorite TED Talk? So I like a TED Talk. I forgot whose it was. It was based on productivity, how to make the most of your time. I'm not recollecting his name. I'll try to come back to you on this. Um, that was quite interesting, and I'm sure all of us have some free time now in between of our classes. I know that we are all busy, and it's difficult to find time for all this. But sometimes just keeping some time aside, away from studies, away from books, away from the laptop, and just relaxing is also a good idea. Okay. Shravya is looking for book recommendations. Yes, you can read some good books, some good novels. In fact, I can suggest to you also. So let me bring my slides back and I'll take you through some of the books that I have read recently. Okay, so we were on analogies. Okay, so those who are looking to pick up a good book, let me just clear the slide and then I'll put them up. Okay, let's put it up here. Right. So there are two types of novels. One is fiction, which are stories, maybe suspense, maybe some thriller, and one is non-fiction. These are books based on reality. It can be either history or something that is happening around us. You know, some suggestions for improving our lives. So on the fiction side, a good book that I have read in the past is by an author named Arthur Haley. Right? Maybe you can read either Hotel. These are some of his books: Hotel, Airport. There's also a good book called Wheels. Right? These are all suspense stories. So there's a good fiction, nice and interesting. There's another author that I have read in the past called Sidney Sheldon. So these are all famous authors for mystery or suspense books. Sidney Sheldon's books are usually around a female main character, right? Sidney Sheldon. So this is another fiction author. And if you're looking for non-fiction, then I read a book recently called Ikigai. So Ikigai is written by a couple of authors who went to Japan to study why Japanese people live so long. Yeah, many Japanese people live over 100 years. So what is it about their lives that encourages them to have a longer life? So Ikigai, the secret to a long and happy life. I think this is the name of the book, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. So this is a nice book. This is non-fiction. Yes, Ravindra is suggesting people to read The Alchemist, which is a nice story. I forgot who the author is. It's quite a popular book. Anyone else who's read anything interesting recently? Okay, Chavez says Alchemist is Paulo Coelho. Yes, I've read a long time back. Yeah, good. There's also an interesting British author called Mark Tully. Okay, so Mark Tully was, although he's British, he's born and brought up in India. Okay, so he grew up and he used to head the Indian operations of the BBC for many years. And in this, he got to travel a lot around India. So some of his books are really interesting stories from rural India. So I can recommend one of his books, No Full Stops in India. And India in Slow Motion. So both of these books are really interesting. They are about small town rural stories, small characters, interesting things, what is happening with them, and easy to understand. The language is also very simple. So you like these stories. They are short stories. Might be in a day you can read one story or so. Yeah. Sydney Sheldon, I'm not getting the name of the book immediately. You can just look it up. Let's search on Amazon or on Google, you'll get it. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Someone has put Agatha Christie. And these are very interesting and nice suspense books. This is something we read in college. Yeah, Agatha Christie, and the main character of her story is Hercule Poirot, who is a Belgian, and he's a private detective. So he goes around investigating why someone was murdered or something like that. So it's a very interesting. There are many Agatha Christie books. I think over 50 books. Okay. So a lot of other recommendations coming in. A lot of movies are based on books. So Godfather is based on book. You can read the book. Lord of the Rings is based on a book. The book is really interesting. And of course, Game of Thrones is based on book. So, and it will take you much longer to read Game of Thrones than it was to watch 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. Okay, so let's get back to analogies now. But good, this was a very nice, very interesting break from what we were doing. I sometimes find that, the slides and what we're learning topic wise gets a little bit monotonous, slide after slide. So it's helpful to take a few minutes of break in between, discuss something like this. How to improve vocabulary, what books to read. So come up with more of these questions. Use it in the break. You can always put these questions to me. No problem. Yeah. So your next question. So now mind frame moves back to analogies. Let's continue solving. Try to reach the relationship. Try to reach the answer. Okay. So those who have not understood some words, I think stifle is one of them. Sneeze is okay. So Rafael has put the relationship perfectly. Fear causes us to tremble, or the relationship here is cause and effect. Okay, and it is in the reverse direction. So just be watchful of this. Cause and effect. So does sneeze cause us to sniffle? No. In fact, sneeze is the effect of something else. Sneeze is the effect. And what is stifle a sneeze? Stifle means to suppress or to prevent yourself from sneezing. Prevent a sneeze. Nowadays, stifling a sneeze has become very important. If you're outside and if you happen to sneeze or you happen to cough, everyone on the road will stop what they are doing and they will look at you. And then everyone will put their mask, which is usually over the throat. Everyone's mask is here. They will put their mask like that on the nose. And then everyone will continue what they were doing. So sneezing and coughing in public has become really dangerous. So it becomes important to stifle a sneeze. I don't know if you all have come across this. It happens very often now on the road. Anyone, anywhere you hear a sneeze, everyone stops and looks at that person who sneezed, who coughed. And then suddenly everyone's mask goes up. Okay, so sneezing and stifling are not cause and effect. You try to stop a sneeze from happening, so this is incorrect. Itching and scratching are the same thing. Both are effects of some kind of cause, some irritation, some allergy. So itching and scratching are not cause and effect, they are both effects. So this is also incorrect. And cold causes us to shiver. So this is cause and effect. So this is C. Okay. So one of the words describes a condition or a cause, and the other word describes a response. So some other examples: a bacteria causes infection, which we all know over the last 1 year or more. Virus causes COVID. Yeah. Accident causes injury, and cold causes fever. So fever is also an effect. It is a symptom. It is something that is visible. And what is causing it is something else. Fever is never the cause. Body is trying to fight the infection. That is how the fever comes. Yeah. Any word which is not understood, please let me know. Yeah, sure. So sonnet, I think, is something that is not understood. Anyone still solving? You can put. It's quite simple. Okay. So ballet is a type of dance, right? Ballet is a dance form. Good. So Nalini has also put the answer very well. Yeah, ballet is a type of dance, and sonnet is a type of poem. Okay. So what are other dance forms? Anyone watching Dance India Dance? DID. DID has gone into so many things. Yeah. DID come for children now. Then DID went into old people, fat people. Normal DID is not there only now. I don't know if you watch it here or is it called something else on the local channels? Dance India Dance. Yeah. What other dance forms apart from ballet? Let's list them out. Ballet, hip hop. This is one I know. Okay, interesting. Something Indian. Kuchipudi. Yes. Very nice. Okay, salsa. Salsa, Mexican, Spanish, I think. Yeah, break dance from Michael Jackson. Kathak. Good. So Nalini seems to be a dancer among us. Bharatnatyam. Yep, Kathak is there. Bharatnatyam, Garba. Okay, a lot more Indian ones, yeah, in this one. Okay, Hansa, someone said belly dancing. Okay. If you put pole dancing, I'm not putting it up on the slide. Huh? Then there is gully dance. Wow. Odissi, yeah, okay. Odissi. Bhojpuri, Bhangra from Punjab. Zumba, yeah. Zumba has really become popular in COVID and in lockdown. Garba, let's say Garba, Dandiya, all from Gujarat. Yeah, dragon dance. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it. But I'm putting it up because someone is dragon dance. Achha. Then there is a lot of other dances now which I'm not aware of. Wakanda dance is from Avengers. This is a good one. Okay, jazz is interesting. Jazz is a form of dance. Okay. Then there's something that people do and practice on the streets also. See, locking and popping. This is some kind of dance. Maybe it is break dance or some new version of break dance. Someone has put noggin dance. Yeah. This we have all done after a few drinks. Noggin dance. Bathroom dance. Wow. Very nice. Street toe, classical, yes, classical is a type of dance. Interesting. Ah, so good. I'm really impressed here with your knowledge. We managed to, like we did in our vocabulary sessions, we managed to fill up the screen again. Shuffle. Shuffle is nice, yes. And there's disco dance. Yes, I am a disco dancer, isn't it? Folk dance. So folk dance is the traditional dance coming from a lot of different places. Yes, good. Right. So ballet is a type of dance. Sonnet is a type of poem. Okay. Nalini says sonnet is a type of poem which has 11 lines. Is it 11 or is it 9? I'm not sure about this. So it's somewhere between 7, 9 or 11. Or okay, now Sravya is saying 14 also. We need to look this up. Could be 14. I'm not sure. Okay. And then artist is not a type of sculptor. Relationship is the same, but order is opposite. Sculptor is a type of artist. Okay, so this doesn't work. Theater is not a type of play. Theater is where you stage the play. Okay. Yeah. So someone's googled it. Sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. What are other types of poems? Those who are on Google, maybe you can tell us. What is 2 lines? Is to do it. Then there are some more. Like, oh, haiku. Yeah, this is a type of Japanese poem. Haiku. Haiku is 4 lines, I think. And couplet is 2 lines. Good. Yeah. And theater is where you stage the play. Theater is not a type of play, so this is incorrect. And book is not a type of novel. Novel is a type of book. So relationship is okay, but order is opposite. So your answer is C. Yeah, and I think 6 lines is sexit may also be 6 lines. I think so. Yeah. Haiku is interesting. Huh? If you guys look up haiku on Google, You will get some really nice poems. Of course, they sound better in Japanese, but in English translation also, some of them are really good. Right. So the type of relationship was that one of the words in this pair was a type of the other word. So that was your relationship. Okay. So some more examples. Frog is a type of amphibian. Here you have tuna, which is a type of fish, and tragedy, which is a type of drama. So what other types of drama are there? Tragedy, comedy is one. Then I know satire. They are making fun of something, but in a sarcastic way. Yeah. Any other types of drama? We just studied plays, no? Several acts in one play and several scenes in one act. Okay, so there we have romance and we have suspense. These are all types of plays or mystery, you could also say. Tragedy is a type of play. Tragedy is where it has a sad ending. It doesn't have a happy end. Oh, it's already here. Okay, adventure, action. Now we are getting into types of movies. Yeah. So moving on. Yeah. Any words which are not understood? This is a tougher one. And I think 2B0, 503, 4E9, you have it. And Varun as well. Yes. This is a word which is not understood. Ascetic is a sage or a sadhu in Hindi. Someone who goes and lives in the forest. If you all know this word, someone who has taken vanvas, who is retired from life. Ascetic. In a lot of, I think, Mahabharata, Ramayana and all, you will have vanvas. So here the relationship is a quality of the person, right? The sportsman needs to be fit. Fitness is a quality which is inherent to a person. He needs to keep on practicing it. Okay. So sport fitness as a quality of a person. Now here many of you all have chosen B. It is self-denial to be the quality of an ascetic, which we just saw was a sage or a sadhu. So what has ascetic done? He has given up the material luxury or comfort of life. He's given up his home, his family, his money, everything. All that he has given up to live a hard life, a simple life in the forest. So forest will provide his food, forest will provide his house. He needs to build a hut. Okay. So this is called self-denial. You are denying yourself the comforts, the materialistic comforts of life. Purposely. Okay. So this is a quality that comes inherently to a person. He needs to practice. Okay. Publication is not a quality of a person. Publication is the job that the writer needs to do in order to earn money. It is his profession. Writer publishes books, but publication is not something that is a quality of a writer. Yeah. So this is incorrect, and B is correct. General and soldier are two people. One reports to the other, and food and cook are unrelated. At least not related in this sense. So the answer here is B. Quality of a person. Okay, any doubts? So your second test. And as we did before, you can let me know 3 answers at one time. If you feel all of them are A, you can put A, comma, A, comma, A, or if any is unsure, you can put blank. For those who don't know some of the words, you can put in the chat. And we'll explain the words and then we'll get into the answer. Okay, so we have some words. Kennel, Chandni has not understood. I think Tether is someone who has put. What else? These are okay. All on the left are okay. Oration. Oration is public speaking. So oration is standing on a stage. All the the comedians do oration. Yeah. What else? I think someone has put plagiarism. I'll explain it. And misappropriation. These are the tougher words. I'm not seeing any answers. What about answers? Okay, so shall we solve? So condensation is caused by refrigeration. Okay, so we are going reverse. Refrigeration causes condensation. We are all engineers, so we've studied this. Heating causes evaporation. So I don't think anyone got this wrong. First one was okay for almost all, right? Cooking doesn't cause consumption. Huh? It's like if you want to eat, you will eat. It's not compulsory. So this is incorrect. And listening doesn't cause oration because listen and oration are two opposites. Um, Oration also doesn't cause listening. If you're wondering, you can choose whether you want to listen or not. So this is also not right. And for those who have a lot of money, buying can cause exhaustion. It's possible. But nowadays, what is happening is all the malls also close at 11:30. So before you have a chance to spend all your money, they will tell you, please go. So buying doesn't cause exhaustion. A is your answer for the first one. Okay, then a tether here. A tether is a rope which is used to tie a cow, or it can be used to tie a horse also. Okay, so it goes around the neck, and then you attach the rope to a tree or some of the post, lamp post or something. Yeah. So tether is used to tie a cow. The same way handcuff is used to tie a man. So D is correct in this one. A kennel is a house for a dog. So it is not used to tie a dog. The dog may go and sleep in the kennel or he may go and sit for some time. And mousetrap is not used to tie a cat. It's meant for a mouse. So A, B, and C are incorrect. So you had A, comma D. Okay. Now, okay, 5A1 handcuff is what the police put on you. Hatkadi. They tie a man, no? Like, both your hands are tied. Can't escape. So writing and plagiarism. What is plagiarism? For those who have completed some college projects or some research, plagiarism is copying from someone else's work. Okay. So plagiarism actually is to copy or to steal writing, someone else's writing. Okay. So deception is not to steal confidence. No, this is unrelated. Misappropriation is to steal someone else's money. You've taken it from one account and putting it in another account or putting it in your own account. So this relationship is the same as plagiarism and writing. You are stealing someone else's work and putting it into your own thing. Donation is opposite of stealing, so this is incorrect. And germ and disease are cause and effect. So this is also incorrect. So you have A, comma D, comma B. Yeah. Any 3 out of 3s? I think I spotted a few. 3 out of 3. Many 2 out of 3s. And a few 1 out of 3s as well. But if you're getting it, you're on the right path. Try to judge the relationship between the two words in the question. Try to replicate within the answer. So any difficult words, words which are not understood, one word should be you. Acha, Pravalika has an interesting doubt. I'll go back to the previous slide after this question. Pravalika, the same way refrigerate can be a verb, heat can also be a verb. It's not a noun. Yes. So for those who've got it, good. I see many right answers, which is nice. Yeah. So training improves our skill. Yeah? Training is practice. So what else can improve the other thing? Neurological improves brain? No. Auspicious improves an event? No. Auspicious event is a description. Auspicious doesn't improve the event. And speech doesn't improve the lesson. They are unrelated. So for speech, to improve speech, you need to practice something else, maybe communication or English. So speech doesn't improve your lesson. Mnemonic improves your memory, right? This is pronounced as mnemonic, M silent, mnemonic. Yeah. So what is an example of mnemonic? Can anyone tell me? This is your answer. Huh? Mnemonic helps to improve your memory. What is a mnemonic? Okay, logics is a mnemonic. Sampath, can you tell me the long form? I don't know what logics is. Good. So mnemonic is an acronym or a shortcut or a short form to remember something. It can be anything. Okay, shortcut to remember something, right? So, for example, I have a shortcut which we use for maths, yeah, board mass. So we have brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is the order in which you are supposed to solve. Yes. And there is Vibgyor, which tells us the colors of a rainbow or the colors of a spectrum or highest frequency to lowest frequency. So this is Vibgyor. Someone's put all silver teacups. So I'm unsure where this is used. All silver teacups. I don't know where this is used. This mnemonic I'm new. Yeah. Oh, it's used in trigonometry. This Savle. Okay. I didn't use this in my maths and trigonometry. Okay, interesting. Any other mnemonics? I have an interesting mnemonic. Okay, so there's a doubt on the question itself from Pranavi. Through training, we get skill. Through speech, we understand the lesson. No, it's improving. So you can't improve a lesson with a speech. You don't get skill, you improve your skill. So that's why it's mnemonic improves memory. So there are mnemonics for months of the year. I'm not aware. Let's say my very educated mom just served us, yeah, noodles. This is what someone, this is what I came across. Yeah. What does this help you remember? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And now Pluto is not a planet, so this works. My very educated mom just served us noodles. So this is called a mnemonic. It's a short form which you can then make into a statement. And then, acha. So we have something from electronics. B.B. Roy of Great Britain had a very beautiful wife wearing gold, silver necklace. Is this that resistance, colors of resistance or something? I remember from my electronics engineering time. Yeah, those bands on the resistors. Good, good memories, nostalgia. Yeah. Okay. What is Roman for 5 and 10? Anyone? Roman for 5 and 10? It's simple. Yeah, greatest of all time. Good. But that's not a mnemonic. That's just a short form. Okay. So we have Roman for 5 and 10, V and X. Yeah. What is 50 and 100 and 500 and 1000? Don't put 5 X's all next to each other. It's not it. So 50 is L. Okay. 50 is L. 100 is C. This comes from century, from cricket. 100 is C. Then 500 is D, which I think is from decimeter. I think decimeter is 500 millimeters or something. So 500 is D, and 1000 is M, which is from millennium, 1000 years. Millennium, right? So how do you remember this? LCDM. Can you use this mnemonic? Lucky cows drink milk. LCDM, 50, 100, 500, 1000. Okay, so this is called a mnemonic. A short form to remember something which is difficult to otherwise remember. Okay, so this is new for you. So can anyone tell me what is 1947 in Roman numerals? What will it be? We have everything over here. This is your answer is right here. Let's need to figure out as per rules of Roman numerals. Yes, anyone? Any options? Okay, good. 5C7, you have it, Arshita. Yes, wow. That's very nice. So let's start with 1900. So 1000 is M, right? And then you have 1900. So to M, you need to add another 900. So 900 is M minus 100, CM. Yeah, how do you write 40? 40 is 50 minus 10, right? XL. How do you write 9? 9 is IX. This is 9. So this is 10 minus 1. So the same way, 900 is 1000 minus 100. So this is 900. And this is 1000 plus 900. So this becomes 1900. Okay. Now we need to work out 47. So 47 is not this. This is not the way you write 47. First we need to put 40. So 40 becomes XL. So here you have XL. And then you add 7. So this is 1947 in Roman. Okay. Good. Happy? So that was your class. How was it? How was analogies? So a little bit of, new words, little bit of relationships, little bit of fun, learning something else. We saw what are the different types of dancing. We saw what are the different types of mnemonics, something new we learned. And we also had a good discussion on the books, what books to read, how to improve vocabulary, right? So let's end this class a few minutes early. Thank you for attending. Let me know some feedback in the chat if you found it useful. Tomorrow your class will be taken by Praddy. So I will meet you all directly next week. Okay. So have a good weekend. Enjoy a little bit after your Saturday sessions. Relax on Sunday. Don't study. Take a break and come back fresh for next week. Hello. So stay safe and enjoy the weekend. I'll meet you all again. Bye bye. Thank you for attending.